Today you're gonna learn the pre-approach and to succeeding with influencer marketing and the longevity of the relationships, right? And really, when you are an influencer nowadays, it's not only that you are influencer, you essentially have to be content creators. And yes, of course, you will find influencers who don't really give a shit or don't know about content creation and the backend and how it actually works, but we don't actually want to approach those, right? We want to approach like qualified influencers, right? Or content creators. And the second thing you learn is the actual right way approach to influencer to receive a free endorsement. And the third thing you're gonna learn is you're gonna see real examples of conversations and like actual messaging that you can steal. But when it comes to the messaging, one thing I'm gonna tell you is that it's just about being human. That's literally it. But in case you don't know who I am and you're new to this channel, you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Zui. I run a TikTok creative based agency, blah blah blah. You know how it goes. We help mainly like streetwear brands. So if you'd be interested in seeing what we actually have to offer, feel free to check out the description, the website, and let's just jump straight into it. So what to actually look for when looking for the influencer, right? So the influencers you approach should be aligned with the emotions and identity of your streetwear brand, right? So basically be aligned. Basically it means that they have like the same kind of vibe as your brand, not similar. Of course it won't be similar, because essentially those are two brands. Like an influencer is a personal brand and your brand is like a brand, right? But be aligned with the emotions. So they in a sense they have to be giving a similar vibe as your brand is giving. So then they have to share the same worldview perspective with your brand. Essentially this means that if your brand is based off the trap, rap, hip-hop, street lifestyle, it means that the influencer that you work with should too, and at least similarly. Then they should have the same values that your streetwear brand represents. So maybe you're asking, like, why do influencers have to be aligned with my brand concept, right? Why can't I just go and find a random influencer? Because I know like that brands actually have these kind of stupid questions sometimes. So this is kind of obvious, because if you sell a product that a market doesn't need, they don't need it, right? So basically if you sell like if you onboard an influencer and that is in, I don't know, like in like whatever way too different niche than your streetwear brand, and you try to sell to that market to their followers, they obviously you wouldn't get results, right? Because it just makes sense. But so an influencer will actually respond and only accept free clothing from a brand that they actually resonate with and like, right? So it makes sense. And your audience will only actually find it cool if the celebrity is someone big or literally like famous, right? Then this stuff actually won't apply, because when you're a celebrity, then you're not that niche down in a sense when it comes to like influencer. But yeah. So when it comes to the how big of an influencer should you work with, or should I work with, is there's actually this sweet spot that work for us over and over again and for our clients, and it's around to 25 30k to 100k followers and a little bit above. It fluctuates. It's never gonna be like the same spot, because essentially sometimes it's gonna be a little bit different, but this is like the sweet spot, right? And it's not a small following, but also not a huge following. It's just the sweet spot, right? So some tips, key to success with this is keep in mind any keywords, phrases, terms, and slang you use for your brand that you think the influencer will relate to, because it makes sense, right? And before you send a message to an influencer, be sure to do this step first. Follow them on Instagram, like some of their posts like in advance before you actually send the message, or after sending the message, right after, so you get the attention on your stuff. So I want to talk about the vibe of the message before showing the real life examples. The vibe of the message is essentially it should be like free from the outcome. Essentially, you don't want to be looking at the outcome. You are only, look at it this way, you are only giving and you're not trying to take or receive anything in return in the vibe of the actual message, right? And you do not want to definitely like trigger their defensive walls of thinking that these guys are trying to scam me or rob me, right? You are simply a fan who would love to, you are simply a fan, a brand who would love to give them free clothing, and that's it, right? And pro tip, it's just like a little tip: drive the message somewhere else rather than in the direct message converse, so you don't hit the send button on the accident. So here are some real life examples of messages. Here's a rapper, basically the brand went, "Fuck, we love your stuff. We're a new Canadian apparel brand starting up, and we would love to send you some free stuff. If you're interested, just send us an address. Anyway, we're sure you're busy killing it. Love what you're doing, supporting the Alberta wildfires too. Keep tracking, and hopefully we'll hear from you soon. Cheers." And it's basically this kind of message. As you can see, this kind of messages really it's personal, right? The personalization is extremely important as well, right? And here's like a really like shorter, but it works. Again, it works, right? We're big fans and would love to send you some gear. Let us know if you're interested. Cheers, right? Again, like that's literally it, right? And here you can use like a general messaging framework. Hey, name, we're huge fans of, we'd love to send you some free gear. Let us know an address and we'll send it off. Cheers. That's it, right? Okay, you don't have to, of course, like use this messaging. Just use the structure of the messaging, right? And like just be simple, right? So when you're messaging, then try to be realistic about what they have done, what is cool about them, what they have achieved, and just be human and compliment without wanting anything back, right? Just be genuine, right? Like honest, genuine, right? And not just like some fake random like sales random that just trying to like make sales. Doesn't make sense, right? You're trying to like create value around your brand. It's not only about sales. You're trying, before getting sales for your brand, you really need to like create a brand's value, a brand's identity, a brand story, a brand's basically a literal brand before actually you'll get sales, right? Or like before you can scale off the sales like to the moon. And as you can see, the brand's example isn't really right here. Like we're not wanting really anything in return, right? We're just purely giving free clothing. That's it, right? So your messaging with each influencer is gonna be slightly different, which makes sense, but just don't be a bot. As I said, be a genuine person and detach yourself in your mind from the business side, right? Just I want to send you the free clothing because I want my clothing to be seen on you, and because you're cool, and it would be an awesome experience to have like someone like you wear my clothing, wear my stuff, wear my collection, right? Wear my hoodie, wear my pants, whatever, right? That's literally it. And the more you overthink a message, the worse it gets, right? So be simple, don't overcomplicate stuff, and you shouldn't show a lot of neededness in your messages. So we're just purely giving, right? But it's not needed. We don't need to give, right? We're just showing them like the opportunity that they can actually like get a free clothing. But if not, no worries, we're not pushing you, right? So that was literally it for this not really quick video today. If you like this, feel free to give me the thumbs up. If not, no worries. If you want to see more videos from me, feel free to subscribe. And as I said, if you want to like check out the stuff that we actually do, by the way, you don't pay us until we get your results. So if you want to actually see what we actually have to offer, check out the description, check out the website. If not, no worries, continue watching my value, and I'll see you next. Peace.